me a moment, because I know we've got some things that are wrong on the overlay. And it's just me at the moment, so I'm afraid I don't have anybody to talk at you while I'm doing this. So, first ban for throwing on Infernal Shrines. Be interesting to see what they want to get rid of. I would say if they don't want to play it, a rag ban would be pretty standard, but they have gone with the Murky ban. So obviously, since the most recent patch, he has been showing as a very scary character in the meta. So we do have a Murky ban, as I say, and then the Tassadar ban. Now, we didn't see Tassadar picked or banned in the match we had from the playoffs last night, but I do like to see that they've made that ban. I think he's very strong in the meta at the moment. We do have then a VARIAN pick coming in from throwing. Obviously, very strong hero at the moment, generally in the meta, just very powerful. So, you know, I do like that as a pickup. So we're going to see two picks coming in now from Team TFT. You know what I've forgotten. Of course, you know what I've forgotten. Twitch chat never forgets. So there we go. We'll keep you all happy. You can waste your points. So it's Mouth. I definitely like the Mouth pickup. I think he's obviously very much a top tier hero at the moment. Like that very much. And the Zarya. Now, I do like Zarya, and I also like her on this map. I think she's very good at securing the Guardians on the shrines, which, you know, is very relevant functionality for a hero on this map. Kerrigan sort of made a niche and a name for herself basically on that functionality. But Zarya does it at range with the particle grenade. She does a pretty good job of it, and obviously she is just a very strong hero overall. I like that they've done the TAS ban into the Zarya pick as well. Really denies those sort of assassin enablers that we do see coming out a lot in the current meta from the other team. So it's going to be interesting to see what Throw Inc. want to do about that. They have gone for a Rhaegar, so obviously they don't want to get that banned away from them. It's usually the sort of second pick support, I guess I'd say. So having picked up the Mouth, it was certainly a plausible ban that we could have seen from TFT. So Throw Inc. not having any of that, they grabbed the Rhaegar. They've got the Greymane as well. He's certainly seen a bit of a resurgence since the armor buff that they introduced for him. I'm still yet to be completely convinced by Greymane being strong in the current meta, but it'll be interesting to see what they can come up with him. Obviously, we have recently seen another change for him in the ult change, which is quite a rare one. They've actually completely reworked an ultimate ability, which they don't do that very often at all. And I mean, it's obviously now very strong against high HP frontliners, and very good to use as an engage. And obviously that short cooldown means that you can potentially use it more than once in a fight, which is pretty powerful. So we see the Rag ban. I'm pretty surprised that Rag made it all the way through the first set of picks to the second ban, but I do think it's a very reasonable ban coming from Throw Inc. Rag, obviously very much a powerhouse in the game at the moment. Molten Core being a unique ability, and obviously that Sulphurous Smash ultimate is extremely powerful as well. So we do see the Gul'dan ETC coming up as picks for Team TFT, and they're very strong, solid picks. ETC, obviously, with the mouth and the CC that those two bring together, can be very dangerous. And Gul'dan obviously provides you with that lane pressure, and indeed that that potential for the rotations as well. So strong pickups there. From Throw Inc. to round out their comp, they've gone the Tyrael, and I did wonder whether that was on their minds. Obviously, it's sort of the well, I guess Medivh is the third option after Tassadar and Zarya for enabling your assassins, but Tyrael comes in there somewhere with a speed buff and a shield, which he can bring to the party. So strong pickup just in general, and obviously Sanct Greymane with a VARIAN thrown in there as well is pretty powerful. Does look like it might be a Bloodlust comp coming out there from Throw Inc. So that being exciting to see. Might well be able to catch TFT off guard with that, but we'll have to see. They do go for their last pick from TFT. They go with the Sylvanas, which is obviously a very powerful hero on the map, but it's interesting because she's obviously only actually powerful in a scenario where you're winning the objective. If you win the shrine, she empowers it hugely, allows you to get a lot of additional value from your Punisher. But I'm not so convinced that they're dominant on the shrines. So it'll be interesting to see how they want to approach that, what they want to do with it. So, okay, we are now loading into the game. And don't forget, folks, to place your bets. We've not got a lot of time left to do that, if that's what you want to do. So, we're into the game. On the left-hand side of the map in blue, we do have Team TFT. We've got Owen23 on Sylvanas, we've got Paddy on Malfurion, Zuna on the Gul'dan, Tapion on ETC, and Yigim on the Zarya. On the right-hand side of the map in red, we do have Throw Inc., and they have got Aloname on Varian, they've got Liquor Style on Greymane, Schweppel on Tyrael, Draconi on the Rhaegar there, total blank, and Rihanna on the Falstad. So obviously it's also good to see that Throw Inc. have brought a global hero to this fight, very strong on the map, very helpful with those objective phases, means you can get a little bit of extra advantage, a bit of extra XP, so hopefully they will take good advantage of that. Unfortunately, we do see four-man group from Throw Inc. getting a bit too aggressive there, to be honest, and they do get picked off. Tyrael had gone directly to the top lane, whereas all 5 members of Team TFT had gone to that little scrap, that squabble in the mid lane, and it did allow them to get a kill there. Not by any means catastrophic for Throw Inc., but it is unfortunate for them. Does put them a little bit behind in the XP stakes there. So we do see these rotations forming up, and Team TFT are kind of dominating in that regard. They are closing off and monitoring the routes that Throw Inc. want to be using to rotate, and putting a lot of pressure on them as a team in that way. For that reason, Throw Inc. I think have also lost a little bit of XP when it comes to some of those lane minions. But so far they have managed to keep up. They are both teams are level 3. Looks like they will both be not quite, but very nearly at level 4 by the time this shrine is a factor. Roots goes down and a power slide follows it to catch out the Rhaegar, but not able to quite finish him off. And we do see currently Throw Inc. have got a Tyrael top lane and they've got a Falstad bottom lane, and they are getting value from that global, as I hoped that they would. We now have all 5 members of Throw Inc. closing in on the shrine here. Falstad going in for the flank, which ETC is countering, but a lot of damage is forcing the backline. Greymane getting in and doing those hits on the Sylvanas, the Mal, and on the Gul'dan as well. And actually, Throw Inc. have come out on top overall in that little scrap. So we did see Team TFT mostly have hit the tap from the well, but the flank from the Greymane does pick off the Malfurion, and that is going to be a clear advantage in this fight and on the shrine as well. Looks like Throw Inc. have taken the lead on the shrine minions, not by a huge number, but by a few. And as long as they don't surrender this, they should be looking to lock this one in. VARIAN falling very low to the ETC and the damage coming out from the Gul'dan, but oh, it's going to be close. Sylv also dropping very low, and actually the Tyrael is able to get the pick off on Sylvanas there, which will allow Throw Inc. to pick up this first Punisher. Now obviously this was very important for them because we do have the Sylvanas on the other team, and giving away the first Punisher, particularly as it's an arcane Punisher, would have been very troublesome for them. But they now do have the opportunity. They're not going to 5-man group and push with this or anything like that. They are making sure they're getting their XP. Falstad has gone bottom, Greymane has gone top, and we do just have the 2 tanks and Rhaegar supporting the Punisher. They get the kill on the front towers and the wall, so they get some XP, they get some value, and they're very neatly just sort of pulling themselves back into formation here. Thank you, Undead. So we do see the Tyrael has rotated back up to pick up the solo lane, but we do have Greymane who retreated into a bush and has just stayed there. He's waiting, hoping that the Gul'dan is going to put himself in a vulnerable position to get a pick off here. I like that. They don't need the Greymane elsewhere on the map, and the Gul'dan, seeing the Tyrael, could well have assumed that the Greymane had left. And obviously he's being very cautious. He didn't poke his head out too far, and he will be safe there. Greymane now rotating back down into the middle of the map. And you know, I've got to say, putting up a fantastic showing so far. They are about a level ahead. They're 2 kills to 1. Obviously they picked up the first objective, and they haven't really left any openings for Team TFT to get an advantage in the game. So very interesting to see how we progress from here, and indeed if or how Team TFT can sort of pull this back under control. They are obviously coming from Division 1. They are the favourites moving into this game. So we do see the second shrine spawning on the top side of the map. Currently we have a 5-man grouping from Team TFT. They are looking to get some value in the bottom lane with the Sylvanas, and they do successfully clear off the front wall of this fort, and they are looking to push in. But the 3-man defense here, ooh, they need to be careful, but so far the 3-man defense here has been exemplary from Throw Inc. And although this was all ETC falling very low, does get a Zarya shield and will be okay, but that is Team TFT being forced to retreat. Throw Inc. very, very nearly about to hit their level 10s. They really should be looking to get these level 10s before they do anything like fighting here. But they do go in, they hit their 10s, and we do obviously have some instant quick pickups here. So it looks like Team TFT are just going to have to pull back. Now, during all of this, obviously we had a 4-man grouping from Throw Inc., but Tyrael has been sat on the shrine throughout this, picking up the Guardians. He's currently at 32. Now, this is almost a guaranteed shrine phase now for Throw Inc. It's pretty much impossible for TFT to look to actually cap the shrine at this juncture. We do have a dive in on the Gul'dan from VARIAN there, but obviously it is still a 4v5, and the Twilight Dream from Mouth is going to force Team Throw Inc. to pull back. Tyrael coming down, looking to get a flank, does get some more damage on the Gul'dan, nearly picks him off, but he is going to be able to survive for the time being. Now, I would like to see Throw Inc. just locking in the rest of the shrine. I don't think there's anything that they should be looking to delay for here. I don't think they're going to gain more of an advantage by delaying the shrine a bit longer. We do see Tyrael heading back up to the shrine. Obviously, we've got the guys from TFT are still trying to get value out their Sylvanas. They're looking to push these structures, get structural damage. But they are constantly staying as a 5 at this stage in the game. Now, what that means is they are missing out on split XP, which can be fine if they can get enough value from the Syl to make up for it. But I'm not sure that they can. They are going to finish this fort here. But on the other hand, we've got the hard camp being picked up, the enemy hard camp being picked up by Throw Inc., and they've got this Frozen Punisher pushing in on the top lane. Now, we've seen TFT backed as a 5-man unit, and they are looking to come up here and try and defend the Punisher, of course. But level 13, very nearly locked in now for Throw Inc., and that will give a talent advantage for them. We do have all 5 members of both teams here. The Punisher is currently tanking the fort, the keep shots, but not for very much longer. VARIAN getting picked out, but the cleanse will get him free, even with the power slide into the expulsion zone from the Zarya there. So he is going to be just fine. Now, something I did want to just comment on, obviously a lot going on, not a lot of time to break anything down overly much, but we do see a heavy parry build coming out from the VARIAN there at 1 and 7. We've got the cocktail build for Greymane. Tyrael has gone for a sort of mix and match build. Got a few different things there. Right, sorry about this. Okay, so let's have a quick examination of the game state. We've still got the talent advantage, Throw Inc. on the level 13 talent. Team TFT still only just level 12. Going to be a few moments before they're ready. Okay, so we do have both of our teams ready. We are going to get on with the game here, guys. So just going to have a countdown and then unpause the game. We are back in. So we've got also from Falstad something of a hybrid build. We have got Gathering Storm, but then we've gone Hammer Gains and Giant Killer. Do think potentially Seasoned Marksman would have gotten more value in the game here, but obviously not gone for that option. On the side of the Rhaegar, we've got Lightning Bond obviously helping out with those shrines. healing totem, and then the cleanse and earth shield as well on 13, so giving them a bit more of that burst healing. On the side of TFT, we've got a very standard build here, completely standard talents from the Sylv. Mouth has gone in with the scouting drone, so not always picked, but it is still certainly a strong talent. Okay, we do have both teams ready, so let's get that done before I carry on talking about talents. Okay, on the cooldown we've got the corruption build. Obviously is still probably the more meta build, although the Q build has been gaining some traction of late. Zarya, we've got the demolitions expert into Gimme 20, so it is a particle grenade focused build. Do you think that makes a lot of sense on the map? Because as we said, the Shrine Guardians particle grenade is the tool you're going to use to lock them in at range. So once again, we do have TFT seemingly, to my mind, playing a bit scared here. They're still bunching up very hard. We've got a SYLVANAS a bit on her own, but other than that, we've got all 4 members of the team down in the bottom lane. Whereas Throwing are just kind of dominating the map. They've split out, they're soaking all 3 lanes, and they're getting merc camps, and you know, they're being pretty safe while doing it. Now, currently we do have the level 13 in for Team TFT, but already 15 1/3 on the side of Throwing, so they are not that far away from the level 16 talent. Now, I'm interested to see. They do seem to be looking to contest the Shrine, even though they're even talent tiers. Obviously, they do get that scaling bonus from being 2 levels ahead, increasing the damage, but it's the talents that really make the impact. Tyrael jumping in gets a lot of damage on the Sylv, but the expulsion zone will keep her safe. VARIAN charging and taunting into the Zarya, but the Horrify will go down to force the disengage there. Tyrael once again diving in, and Greymane backing him up. They've gone in on the Mouth, and they will get that kill. The Sanct goes down, keeps the Greymane safe, and the Ancestral hits. That is a 3-0 on the side of Throwing. They do get their level 16 talents locked in, and this puts them in a very strong position in the game. They are 16 versus 13. There's obviously no way for TFT to be contesting the Punisher there, with 3 men dead, and we're going to see definitely a fortfall in favour of Throwing. They may even be able to get the keep. The Immortal is almost completely unscathed, and we do see, of course, that talent advantage still having an effect. Level 17 now for Throwing. And they're pushing in hard on the keep. They've taken the wall down. The Punisher is falling. I'm not sure they're going to be able to get the keep here. Expulsion Zone does indeed force them to back away, and Throw Inc. are going to just pull back and re-establish the dominance that they have been showing on this map. Now, they do need to be careful. It looks like TFT are hoping for a slight disorganized retreat and maybe to get a pick off, but it's not going to be for them. We do have all that is a wailing arrow and a half into a one-man mosh, but the cleanse does keep him safe. That was unfortunate. The Malfurion hits, oh my goodness, the Horrify there hitting the entire team of Throwing will allow the Malfurion to disengage, even though he denied, or he left himself as the only player in after Gust with his Ice Block. Sanct coming down, and that's the re-engage from Throwing. ETC is the first to fall. Tyrael falling very low, but not going to fall down, failing to get his trait value there. Most disappointing. We do see Another 2-for-nothing kill, and now level 18 to level 15, so a solid 3-level lead, a 5v3 man on the map advantage. Sylv getting taunted by the Varian. Tyrael does fall, but he does trade for the Sylv. Now, that's not obviously a very even trade because of the level differential. Both the XP, but also the death timers are varied there. So Sylv will be back in 20 seconds, and it's about another, well, it's still another over 30 seconds now before the Tyrael will be back. So that is going to potentially give TFT a small opening. They are about to hit their level 16s. So if in the next 30 seconds before Tyrael can actually fully get back and re-engage, they can make something happen, they do have the potential to reopen this game. I mean, obviously, I think anybody would say, looking at the level difference and the structural difference, we do have a clear advantage for throwing, but let's not forget that SYLVANAS absolutely has the potential to very quickly turn things around. One Punisher can do an awful lot of work for a team that is enabling it with a SYLVANAS. Now, they do have 35, 36 Guardians now already. That is going to be a Punisher locked in for them. It is an Arcane Punisher, and they are currently on even talent tiers. So, if there's going to be an opportunity for Team TFT to really come back into this game, this is it. They have a small window before throwing hits 20, and they need to make something happen. They absolutely need to. Roots goes down, but the team is able to withdraw, and they're able to pull the Punisher over the wall of the keep here. The gate is already down, so it's not going to be relevant, but no kills, no keep, and basically we see level 20 here. Falstad getting picked off and locked down. Looks like he was trying to make a flank happen there, and yeah, that was enough to get a pick off. Now, that's potentially significant. If TFT can manage to get some staggered deaths rolling on the side of throwing, that is potentially a way for them to recover their position in the game. But we do now have level 20 here online for throwing. Now, obviously level 20, probably the second most impactful talent tier. You've really got to be careful if you're down that talent tier about engaging in any sort of fights. The talents will give a significant advantage, and it is a full 2-level lead, only just hit 18 for TFT. So they've got quite a window after this Falstad is back, which he now is. They have got quite a significant window of time that they have to, or really they're going to want to be very passive. But I'm not sure they can afford to be passive for that long. If Throwing can find a way to force any sort of fight here, we should expect them to have a significant advantage in it. And obviously we do have a shrine coming up. Still not quite level 19 on the side of TFT. And yeah, I mean, chat here is of course absolutely right. They didn't, TFT didn't really capitalize on the window that they had, and they now, I mean, they can obviously get pickoffs, and maybe that's what's going to happen here. ETC and then the expulsion zone going down, but Falstad flying into a very vulnerable position. Does have Gust up. Wailing Arrow actually whiffs, so we do. Oh my goodness, a 4-man Horrify, huge deal there. Denies Throwing any opportunity to make an engage happen there. Varian charges in, but Sylv is cleansed in a timely fashion. But here's the thing: level 19, and a little bit on the side of Team TFT. Throwing not currently going for any progress on the shrine. It is active, but they are not trying to lock it in. If they let TFT get 20 before they've got that shrine as good as locked in on their behalf, then it's going to be an even fight, and that's where potentially there's still the opportunity for TFT to turn this all around. Dive in on the Zarya. Oh, that is a big fly gust from the Falstad, and we get big mosh coming out and a Twilight Dream as well. Looks like Gul'dan is the first to fall. Zarya going down next. Sanct and Ancestral still not used by throwing, and that is probably game. If throwing just push aggressively off this with this hard cam, I think they can kill the core here. 40 seconds with 2 men dead. And the Sanct goes down, Rhaegar falling low, but that is a kill on the ETC. Death Metal coming out does allow the Rhaegar kill to go down, but not sure if that's enough. Does look like Team Throwing are pulling back here, losing the Rhaegar and obviously having other members fall very low. They haven't wanted to continue risking this fight. They are 4v2. Now, I do think that a VARIAN charge into Taunt on Sylvanas would have been a kill there, but they're obviously being a little bit careful. Understandably so. They don't want to mess up and throw the game. We do see them going back, picking up their taps there. Now, we do have level 20 for both teams, and we do have even numbers. VARIAN falling, Greymane falling. Mouth does go down to the Falstad flank, and the Gust will allow him to escape. But that is a 2-for-1 trade in benefit of TFT. And yeah, this is an awkward spot now. TFT have got a man advantage. They are picking up the shrine, and really not a lot Throwing can do to contest that at all. The fact that one keep has gone down isn't super relevant, because obviously the shrine here currently is in the top lane. So TFT are able to clear those catapults, clear those waves quite comfortably. Now this looks like an error to me. TFT are holding back on capping the end of the shrine, but I mean, and I understand they're waiting for their Mouth to get back, but the Mouth gets back at the same time as 2 members of the enemy team. So I feel like they had more of an advantage and more of an opportunity when the Mouth, the VARIAN and the Greymane were all dead. They've decided they didn't want to go for that. They've kept the shrine on 39 out of 40 Guardians, so it will be very easy for them to pick up as soon as they are ready to do so. Obviously, they're looking to clear up to make sure they haven't got pressure coming in other lanes. But all the while they're doing that, Throwing are just picking up more Merc camps. Falstad getting the Merc camp down bot. Falstad needs to be very careful here. Obviously, the entire team of TFT coming to make sure that the shrine does get confirmed in. And that's just a corruption from the Gul'dan. Going to get that done. Now, we do have a fort on the side of Throwing still alive in this lane, so I wouldn't expect the keep to go down here, even with the Sylvanas, unless it's very poorly managed in terms of the defense. We shall see. Punisher already starting to take a bit of damage, but the fort has gone down without too much damage landing on the Punisher. Sylvanas is getting the ability to shut down all of these structures. ETC comes in with the Mosh, but the Gust does deny that. However, Team TFT still on very good health, pushing in here. Holy Ground comes down, and Sanct on top of it. ETC falling low, but the Mouth Silence will land on several members there. Rhaegar still does have his Ancestral, so Falstad is going to get picked off there, and that's a man down. We need to see a counter kill from throwing, otherwise this could be very bad news for them. Oh dear, Tyrael going down as well, and the Ancestral just slightly too late. Now we have a reverse of the situation. We've got 5v3, and TFT are pushing in on the core. A lot of damage and lockdown coming onto VARIAN there. He will survive because of that Ancestral, and will be able to pull back into the fountain, obviously keep his health topped up. So it doesn't look like TFT are going to be able to finish this either. Meanwhile, we did see on the bottom lane the keep on the side of TFT is falling. And that's going to be 2 keeps down from TFT, unless they get this keep in the mid as well for themselves. That will give an advantage, but it does look like they're going to manage to do that. So we are now going to have a 1 keep versus 1 keep game state here. Both teams are fully alive. Moshpit and Sanct not quite up, but will be very shortly. Ancestral, the only ult then that is still going to be unavailable for a little bit longer. But again, that will be up in 30 seconds, which will be before the next Shrine phase. TFT just happily going around. They've certainly equalised their game position. They are picking up some Merc camps, getting some free push going on in the mid lane here. So Shrine coming up in 20 odd seconds here, Ancestral up in 10, and that means we are going to have both teams on level 23 with all of their ults available, going into this next Shrine phase. Now we've got some Mercs that have been picked up by Team TFT and are going to be clear up in the mid lane. TFT now picking up their Bruiser camp up in the top side of the map, and now moving in and getting started on the Shrine. We do see throwing are here, positioned around the outskirts of the Shrine rather than diving straight in. Roughly even on Minion Guardian pickup. ETC getting locked down, and then the Gust, but it is in fact, oh, that is VARIAN falling down. Sanct slightly out of position there, and VARIAN not able to survive. Tyrael gonna fall, as is the Falstad. Wow, that was a sudden burst of damage. I'm not quite sure what finished them both off. Perhaps, no, Sylvanas has been on cooldown since the beginning of the fight. Yeah, not sure what managed to finish them off, unless it was maybe the level 20 upgrade, giving the vulnerability on Haunt. Oh, of course, or... oh no. Yeah, no, we do have Cold Embrace for Sylvanas, so probably just a vulnerability and a spike of damage. And we do see 3 members down. Looks like we are seeing a rather desperate backdoor attempt from Rhaegar Greymane coming in here. But we've got 3 members of TFT come back to hold this up. Greymane going to get moshed here. Gets the cleanse. Cores on 20%. This is actually relatively close. And that is game. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So, game 1 goes over to Throw Inc. The Div 2 upstarts here. And the